Hi, welcome back to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano, and this segment we'll be talking about the title industry. We have Stacy Bird with Fidelity National Title, and also sitting in, that just gave us a great report on interest rates, is Asta from, what was the name of the company?
Advantis Capital.
There we go. I'll remember that. Stacy, I have a few questions I want to ask you. There's
Good, I'm ready.
Viewers out there that are very interested to know about your industry. I know I am, and I'd like to know, what is title insurance and what is the role your company plays in a real estate transaction?
You know, that's a great question, because I think a lot of consumers think that title insurance is kind of a junk fee. It's this extra cost that's associated with purchasing or selling a property.
Okay.
And in Milpitas in Santa Clara County, it's really the responsibility, unless it's negotiated in the contract, that the seller pays for title insurance on behalf of the buyer. Now, what the seller is providing to the buyer is really peace of mind, that when they acquire ownership of the property, they will be acquiring ownership of that property without inheriting any liens maybe or judgments that may have been associated with the seller.
Let me ask a question relative to that fee.
Sure.
It changes, I understand, from county to county. In Santa Clara County, that's typically a cost borne by the seller. Is
Right.
that not correct? And then I've sold property in Alameda County, and it seems the reverse is true. The buyer pays that cost.
That is correct.
Can you explain that?
Sure, and in San Mateo also, and those are just customary fees. Anything is negotiable based on the contract. It's customary, though, that the seller pays for that here. So sellers in this area get to choose who their title insurance company is. And a lot of times the real estate professional will choose the title company because they have a good relationship with somebody and they've done business with that title company for years. And really, I would encourage people to be looking at a title company that has the financial strength should anything pop up in the future that may have been maybe missed during a closing. And just to illustrate the importance of title insurance, I have a real life story that I'd love to share with you guys.
Sure, I'd love to hear.
And this is a property that happened here in Milpitas. We had a gentleman who purchased a property from an individual who owned a chiropractic business. And he got a good deal on this property and was able to purchase it in all cash. And unfortunately, he did not use a real estate professional to advise him during this process. And they also did not go to a title company. And what happened was, this individual purchased the property. They went to the county recorder's office, recorded the deed with new ownership, paid the transfer taxes and so forth. And in Santa Clara County, there's $1.10 per thousand of transfer tax.
Which is part of that, they call those closing costs.
Closing costs, right. And then there are certain cities where there's also a city transfer tax. In Milpitas primarily there is not.
Correct.
But San Jose, Mountain View, Palo Alto, there is.
Is there one in the Morgan Hill area? Do you have a transfer tax?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
No, there isn't. So there's just a few cities here in Santa Clara County where that cost would be incurred. It's $3.30 per thousand, and that's split 50-50 between the buyer and the seller. But getting back to my story, so this individual, the buyer, came back in because he wanted to take a line of credit from his property, and he was interested in buying another property. And when we ran the name, he was on title as a single man, and we disclosed to him that there were about $122,000 roughly in liens that were tied to that property that he actually wasn't responsible for. And those were IRS liens. The chiropractor was not paying his federal income taxes.
And they liened the property.
And they recorded that against the property. And so with a simple title insurance policy, and at that time it would have been about $1,500 for the sales price.
A minimal cost that's saved a
really,
lot of headache.
Yeah, that's the value of what a title insurance policy provides, is peace of mind. And so just hypothetically speaking, if we were to have closed on that transaction and we missed any of those liens anywhere and recorded, and I sold my property to you and I had some liens attached to me and you inherited those, well, that's our fault. We would have actually paid for that after the fact.
Stacey, I also understand that there is a discounted fee if a property had recorded, I believe, different title companies use maybe a 2-year window, 3-year window, 5-year window. So if you had bought a piece of property and then maybe refinanced in a year or two, the cost for that title insurance would be less because it was a most recent title search. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that's for a refinance or for a sale transaction. So if you've refied multiple times, you still get what's qualified as a short-term rate, and that's a discounted title insurance policy. And the reason why we offer that is because we don't have to spend as long doing the property search. But if you haven't had any title insurance in the last 30 years, there's that's a long time to really research the property. It takes us longer. And so that's why the fees are a little different.
One other comment before I go on to question 2. Example of a title company that I was using last year, they are no longer in business, or they're being taken over by another company. There seems to be a lot of turnover right now in your industry, in the title industry. Would it not behoove somebody to make sure that they not only get title insurance but use a reputable company that's going to back that insurance policy up? Is that not correct?
Absolutely, and there are just really a handful of title companies in this valley that are financially stable title companies that have the reserve power to be able to pay out on a claim.
So again, look to your professional, look to your realtor that's in the industry to guide you to the correct title company to use.
That's right.
Is that not correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Great.
That would be my advice.